Right. So Gail Kim goes off here. I think she's talking about that commentator guy, right? The JD from NY 206 or whatever. That's who this is aimed at, right? Where she says, shocker that he's quite unpopular with the AEW fans. And then that's in response to someone tweeting, JD is one of the more well-known speakers in the internet wrestling community, but he's quite unpopular with AEW fans at the moment because he criticizes their booking. He was a massive AEW fan at one point, but he also criticizes any company's booking when it's bad, even WWE. So it sounds like, I don't know. I don't know exactly what to take from what Gail Kim's saying there. No, he criticizes AEW like someone who doesn't pay attention to it. If he wrestles it, if he watches it, he does so with an eye to rip it apart or not paying attention. He doesn't understand what good booking, which is why he thinks WWE is so good. So, first off, people like AEW, I'm not really up on JD like that. So everyone, please leave your thoughts about, his commentary and what Gail Kim's saying here. AEW swept in, with a big bank behind it. And I know as far as with me and a lot of my peers and other wrestling fans, and sorry about all the background noise, y'all, happy, okay, we got some real deal competition here for WWE. We can get back to those, Monday Night Wars era. I mean, nothing will ever fully replicate that, but it's just kind of like WWE essentially having a monopoly on wrestling, not having any clear-cut competition. They got a bit lazy. They've had their ups and downs, but it just hasn't fully gotten there. And I'm not shitting on AEW. I don't watch it as much as I'd like to. I'm not shitting on it. I'm not saying it's garbage. It just didn't go toe-to-toe with WWE in the way I think of a lot of us wanted it to. And another point that I wanted to point out is a lot of people just talk shit on the internet because that's what it is. The controversial take, always can get more eyes on it than, someone praising something or someone just trying to be analytical or whatever. This just isn't true. He points out the good and the bad, both in WWE and AEW, for those out there. I don't know why Gail Kim jumped in this saying this, though. Shocker that he's unpopular with the AEW fans. Is he that unpopular? And, what do you think she's saying here? She's trying to diss the guy, or she's just laughing at this? Does she have a bone to pick with him? I think I seen he ran some content on it recently. I gotta watch his channel more, guys. Do you fluck with his channel? Do you not fluck with it? Someone says, I think it's fair to say that women hate women. If you think JD is some sort of saint and you ignore what he has said to women in both WWE and AEW locker room in general, so much for being an advocate for women if you're going down that road. I watched a 5-minute clip and you're blowing this up. This thought process. Dude, you are a perfect example of what social media does to people. Sorry again about the noise, y'all. Think reasonably. That was Gail Kim responding. But the internet's crazy, man. Especially the pro wrestling landscape. Women's wrestling too, just a side note. I want to know, do you guys think in WWE they've made way too many women's titles? I love that women's wrestling is much bigger now. Don't get me wrong, back in the day, Attitude Era and shit, we know what it was. I'm not saying there wasn't women with the company that were athletes, but they weren't really workers like that. There was a couple of them. And now what it is, the fact that women have main evented pay-per-views, there's been all women pay-per-views, is cool. I'm with it. You know what I mean? But is there enough women to substantiate that many titles? I kind of think WWE just has too many titles, period. Men's, women's, all that. But a women's US, a women's IC, a woman, I don't know if there's enough. And I'm not saying that critical of the work or the women or anything. I just feel like when you have too many titles, it's just kind of you know what I mean? But what do you think about Gail Kim's take here and about this JD guy? And, you know, let's discuss it in the comments. Subscribe, WrestleQuest over here, where we talk pro wrestling, old, new, and everything in between. And, you know, sometimes I'm hopping on and I'm you know, I got a real take that I want to get out there and share with the people. Sometimes in some situations, some people might say, well, you sound like an idiot. You're not really up on this guy. Like, no, I've watched him. I know who he is, but it's a good way to engage with y'all. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just hopping on here saying I'm not some specialist or expert. You know what I mean? I'm just another dude out here just trying to have some good conversation and all that. So let's talk about it. Why did Gail Kim throw in this little comment? What do you think of, you know, this JD guy? Does he just rip AEW? Does he rip them both? Is he fair in his critiquing? And everything else we touched on in this video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, and I'll get with you on the next one.